What is up, everybody? We have another couples therapy for you guys. Because it's the Halloween month, we decided to do at least like something that's creepy or Halloween theme. And Brandi went first, and she done the time warp again. Did a Rocky Horror Picture Show, um, and we just got through watching it. So let's talk about it. So Brandi, why'd you pick the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and like, what all do you like about it?
I wanted something fun, and not normally what you would think I would pick. And I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think it's campy, but it's fun, and I love it. And I just figured we'd go with a little something fun and musical. I love.
No, yeah, and these look. This is obviously, if you've watched any couples therapy before, kind of movies I like and stuff like that. This isn't one of those. It's like if you say the genre, that I'd be like, oh yeah, woohoo. But I'm one of those people that I wouldn't necessarily say weird, but even though I love horror stuff like sci-fi, like Star Wars stuff like that,
Mhm.
and everything on the nerd side, um, I also like certain movies from other genres that I don't particularly like. For instance, like uh, Serendipity is one of my favorite movies, probably top 25 movies of all time, and it's like a romantic comedy style movie. Uh, this would probably make my top 50 at least, if not my not top 25, because I've never sat down and really broke it down. But this is like, if not my favorite, one of my favorite musicals of all time that I can actually sit down and watch and enjoy watching and enjoy hearing the music and everything else. Unlike a lot of other musicals that are out there that would be like the traditional musical. I also love this movie because it is like this cult following, this cult classic. Most
Mhm.
people's like, this is ranks in the top five, probably even top three of almost everybody's like musicals of all time. When you sit there and discuss it and talk about it. So it's like well received by the public as a whole. I don't know of anybody I've ever talked to that's like, oh man, I hate that movie. There's people that say they hate musicals, but there's not people that say they hate the Rocky Horror Picture Show, for instance. And but this movie is from back in the day. I mean, matter of
Mhm.
fact, I'm gonna like look it up real quick because I can't remember. I know it had to be the 70s, um, maybe even late 60s. No, I was right,
No,
in the 70s, right in the middle.
maybe.
It's a 1975.
Yeah,
So
70s. Those are the 60s.
yeah, so it's like a 1975 film, and this is a film that's a perfect example of today in our climate. That I'm always like, look, man, I, I don't I don't understand some of the stuff that people talk about sometimes, because this is truly like a hugely diverse movie.
Mhm.
Like, it's not like, I don't know if any character in here is even straight. Uh, I mean, there's even people of color in this movie. Um, Now that would probably be the weakest part of the diversity, I guess, because like most of the characters are like white, or at least white looking or whatever. But
Wait.
still, like, this is a diverse movie with weird, quirky characters doing their thing, having fun, and people have always enjoyed this. So my
Mhm.
whole thing that I've always said is, it doesn't matter what your characters are, what they do, how they act. If you put together something that's good, people's going to like it. And this has been a liked and loved movie for a long, huge period of time. Now, I'm pretty sure when this movie came out, there was some people out there, probably churchgoers, like throwing their hands up, like, how the world could a movie like this be made? But even those people have grown to like it. Like, I know people that are church going people that like this movie to this day, like even of the older crowd that was around when this movie was actually in theaters. My mom would go see this movie, and like when you went to the theaters back then and saw this movie, like the movie theater like workers probably didn't like it because they brought stuff like silly string and all this other stuff into the theater. And at certain times, when certain moments and certain songs are happening, you were supposed to do certain things. and they would always bring this movie back. I'm pretty sure probably around Halloween time or whatever.
Yeah, they still do.
Yeah,
I was actually going to look up to see if there was anything that maybe they have around here that we could maybe possibly go to, because Justin and I will be not in separate rooms. We'll be in the same room in a few weeks. But I'm gonna check to see if there's anything around, so maybe we could go.
But yeah, and so
I
like I
like
said,
fun things like that. I love, so right here when you're saying that you like something musical, I come from a musical nerd background, because that's what I took in high school. Like all 4 years of high school, I took musical theater. So this was something my friends and I would watch, and it's fun. It's just fun, and all the music is fun, and it's just a good time.
no, yeah, and that's what I was always said. Like I said, I didn't matter what your characters do, how they act, what they are. It's just sad that today people get in fights and yell at each other and stuff. And I'm like, bro, there was a movie back in 1975 that was like I said, I don't like the one couple that starts out straight because they're going to marry each other. Turns out, yeah, Brad and Janet's out here like I had a little bit of ice cream in my beard there, but Brad and Janet's out there like doing all kinds of things, like dressing up now. Like, I mean, like the literal song of the guy when he comes out is like talking about being in transsexual Transylvania and stuff like that. It's like, and like I said, it's
transvestite.
Yeah, transvestite calls himself that.
Transvestite.
Like, yeah, in the actual like movie and stuff. And it's just like I actually like the fact that I went back and watched this film again because, like I said, it reminds me that we've always had these kind of things, and it could be good and well received if you make it good. If you make a movie or a show and make it good with a diverse cast, it's going to be praised. It's going to be, everybody's going to love it. Now, if you put trash on the screen, then of course people's going to criticize it. And then once you have the opportunity to criticize it, then you're going to have the idiots, obviously, that comes out and starts running their mouth. But yeah, I've always liked this movie. This has always been my number one musical of all time. Now, the Sweeney Todd is up there as one as well. And then because I like the, I guess, what you would call the hardcore ones, like, let's see, there's that. And then there's one called like the something opera, but it's like also like kind of Phantom of the Opera. There's like a newer one that was about like, that was like a musical about people like harvesting organs or something like that, but it was like a musical.
I don't know what that one is.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. But with that being said, man, thoroughly enjoy the movie. You always have kind of a fun time. The biggest thing to me is like I like the music better in this one than most any other musical. They're fun, they're funny in a lot of cases and stuff like that. And it's just got the interesting like characters going all over the place and stuff. And then you got Meatloaf coming out of the freezer. You know what I'm saying? Like
Eddie. That's Eddie.
Oh, Eddie, but yeah, man, like this is all
Meatloaf.
It's always been a joy. So I mean, this is like an older movie. Obviously, most people have seen it. There's no reason to do like a real breakdown or whatever of it. But like Brandi, like what's like your favorite scene in the movie?
My favorite scene? Oh my god. Well, I love when he creates Rocky. I like that. And then him coming. There's a
lot of people coming in this movie. I can't believe
there's a lot going on. The end, I love the end when they were singing at the end on the stage, when they all come out and they're all dressed up in their high heels and corsets and singing along, and they're in the pool. And then you see that Riff Raff and Magenta are gonna go back, but they're not taking Rocky alive.
You know what? Like I've seen this movie a few times, and it's always been like sometimes I don't make it all the way to the end. Like I started up some of my favorite songs that they do and performances they do is always at the beginning of the movie. Like so about halfway through after like Meatloaf's gone, sometimes I might not like keep watching it. I might turn it off after that because most of my favorite stuff is at the front.
There's a lot of good songs.
So the one thing that I forgot was at the very end, whenever we watched it just now and I finished it all the way through again, was that like the butler and the maid was actually like these the two people at the end that actually came in and was like taking him out.
Yeah, that's Riffraff and Magenta.
Yeah, so like I actually have forgotten that because, like I said, most of the time I'll watch it and like most of my favorite stuff's at the beginning. Obviously, Time Warp's probably one of the biggest things that people love and comes from this. It's one of the more popular songs. Mine's actually at the beginning, pretty close to the beginning.
Damn it, Janet.
Damn it, Janet. So like all my favorite stuff, and I like the Meatloaf stuff too, but like all my favorite stuff's there about the halfway point.
Oh, you don't like
it's yeah, I don't. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad, but like I said, they're my favorites are they're like at the half way point, like I was talking about. So a lot of times I'll make it to like the Meatloaf thing, and then maybe a few minutes afterwards, and I'm out. Like, but it's not because I don't like it. It's just because a lot of times I'm just like, man, I want to watch something goofy, and I get that kind of feeling going on, and like, and I've already seen the movie like a few times, but it has been a long time that I made it to the end, and then I remembered, oh, this is how this goes, and then when the guy in Magenta and stuff walks out, Riffraff, I'm like, oh yeah, they were part of the crew the whole time, and everything else. Like, I always thought like
before, little hair that's like they pulled it up
before tonight,
like
before tonight, rewatching it, right? Like I always thought they were just two random people that were coming back to take him back home. But then I'm like, oh shit, no, they're like the butler and the what you want to call it comes in and dressed all differently, and the maid and everything dressed differently and stuff like that. But you also got like good actors, actresses, everything in here, and for what it is, it knows what it is. So there's moments that you have like goofy fun and stuff with it, and everything else. But,
and this was made in 1975, and I made a comment because they were wearing masks at the one point, and I was like, "Oh, they got COVID masks on."
It's just like because he was being the doctor. It's just part of the
oh yeah, no, I know it was, but I made the joke. Sorry.
No, but
and then I just realized I sang and we're recording, so like, please, I'm not a singer. I mean, I do enjoy musicals, but I'm not a singer.
But yeah, this is like I would say, I don't want to be cheap and just say Time Warp. That's most people's favorite part of this movie. But mine's actually, I'm gonna say I'm pulling out the Meatloaf, man, coming out of the freezer, doing this thing and being the rocker and playing the fake saxophone because I know his ass really wasn't playing it. That kind of thing I thought was like that's always been kind of my favorite moment in the film, and because I like Meatloaf, man, because he would do anything for love, but he wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that guy's pretty awesome, so that's pretty cool. But
he wasn't doing Frankenfurter.
He wasn't. But nah, man, it's like just a really cool and fun movie. It's just about a couple. They're going to get married. They go out. They go to this house. They get trapped there because their tire goes flat or whatever, and it's raining and storming. And they get trapped at this weird house and like go through all these weird things.
They just want to use their phone so they can call somebody and get some help. And then this
crazy stuff occurs, man.
Yeah, craziness ensues.
You know it's going to be crazy when Tim Curry pops out of the elevator for the first time. Wearing those big ass heels and everything else. It's gonna go crazy. But
listen, he walks better in heels than what I ever could.
I would say he kind of took the cheap route because he had like the stockier heels.
Oh, I would do that.
It's got to be easier.
I used to wear platform ones,
but it's easier for if you have those kind of. Well, it's easier than the high heels and the ones the stilettos. Like those little small motherfuckers got to be hard.
Say that word again.
Yeah, whatever it is,
stilettos.
Those has got to be way harder to walk on than say like the bigger knobs at the bottom. I get none of it's easy. I ain't wearing none of them, but those would be the ones I could probably at least walk on. Yeah, those would probably be the ones that I could at least walk in because they have the bigger end, so you have a little more balance and a little more play. I don't know how women walk on those things that come out to almost like an ice pick.
Found one.
Yeah, so those kind right there, it's got to be like a lot harder to walk in than what he was walking in. But still, props to him.
I was like, I knew they were under here because my niece was playing with them. These were my sisters, by the way.
Hey,
I don't have
like,
to stick. My feet are
I'm gonna be
not
honest with you, like being in a movie like this, I commend all those people because back in those times, especially like in 1975, I mean, today people wouldn't even bat an eye or whatever about like some stuff happening that happens in this movie. But back then, for you to be an actor or an actress and play in a movie like this, where you're cross dressing and stuff like that, it had to be like a difficult thing for them to have to deal with back in 75. Because, like I said, of course, there were going to be some idiots out there saying their thing. But today that happens in a lot of different like shows and movies and stuff like that. And
I don't know.
people,
Maybe more things were more acceptable back in those days too, with some things.
I think some
But
things was well.
But
I
I
just think
don't know. I wasn't born in 75, so I don't know. Even though I was born in the 70s, I did not know everything of the 70s. You'd have to
yeah.
ask your mom.
But no, I mean, my mom and stuff when she was in high school and stuff like did stuff for this movie and everything. Like I said, whenever they were coming through high school, I mean, your most everyday people don't say a whole lot. They don't care. It's like they either like it or they don't like it. They don't care about none of that stuff. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like this was entertainment, right? You either liked it or didn't like it back then, or you were in the middle and you didn't like it or dislike it. You were just kind of, meh about it or something like that. And today we would have to have the only reason why any of this is being talked about, and I brought any of it up because, like in today's society, a lot of people want to talk about that kind of stuff. That's like all they want to talk about sometimes. Like, and it's like, nah, dog, they used to do this stuff back in 1975 as well, even crazier than some of the stuff that you see today on today's TV and movies. And that's all y'all want to talk about. It's like, bro, like, is the movie good? And this movie is good. Like I said, I don't know of anybody. Like I said, even people that don't like musicals, I can have probably watched this movie and have watched this movie. Like, there's just something about this. It crosses the threshold. Like, I don't like that genre as much. I only have a few that I like in it. And this is one of those that's at the top. And like I said, a lot of my friends and stuff that also doesn't like musicals dives into this movie and has fun with it.
You don't like West Side Story?
All right. I mean, not as much as Rocky Horror Picture Show. I mean, I don't hate West Side Story, but I don't really like it either. Musicals, it has to be something there for it to like catch my interest, and kind of like the horror themed musicals, I guess, would be the thing that kind of gets me because I like Sweeney Todd. I like this.
The science fiction, the horror science fiction and stuff like that.
But like, I mean, West Side Story, ain't nobody care. Yeah, ain't nobody care about that. Who cares about that?
I saw that on Broadway.
Okay.
I love it.
We don't have Broadway in Alabama. Thank God.
Justin, would you like to stop in New York and we'll go to a Broadway show? We'll go see Wicked. Wicked.
Man, I hope they don't destroy it. Talking about Wicked, I hope they don't destroy that in the movies coming up because it does not. The things I've seen for it does not look very good, and that's an actual play and stuff that people seen for years and love it. So I just hope they don't like mess it up for those fans because those fans are gonna like really want to see it.
Maybe me and Justin will stop for a Broadway show. He's like, oh crap! What did I get myself?
I mean, I don't care. I'm cool with experience and stuff. It's like I said, even though I'll say I don't like something, I'm not like a lot of other people where it's like I don't like it and they won't even give anything in it a chance. Like, I don't like country music. That's my most hated country music or most disliked form of music. But there are some country songs that I'm like, hey, that's good. Like, just like there are a few musicals out there that I'm like, okay, hey, that's good. That's even good enough that I'll rewatch it and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of other people will be like, oh, I don't like musicals. They won't even give it a chance.
A theater experience is way different. If they ever did this on Broadway, I would definitely try to go see it because having that theater experience is like, it's unexplainable. Like,
I've been to a couple plays and stuff, and they are kind of cool to watch, even if it's like not even a particular thing that you care that much about. Like, they're kind of cool to experience. And everything else, I suggest everybody out there to go and try to see at least one show like that. Them moving around the stage and everything, and like doing the different stuff, and it's just like a different style of watching like a story to be told. It's pretty cool. I enjoy it.
I love musicals, and I loved Rocky Horror, and I was singing along even though I was muted when I was singing.
Your favorite character, but you can't pick Tim Curry?
My favorite character, but I can't pick Tim Curry. I have Rocky.
Rocky?
Rocky.
You like Muscle Man?
Well, he was just created, so you're just seeing him like come into his character, and then.
Hey, girl, like, you keep using the word "come" in this.
No, Justin.
And there was a lot of that going on in the film.
Justin, no.
Just saying. Like second or third time you've already said it. But with that being said, my favorite character, if you can't pick Tim Curry, because I think Tim Curry just steals the show. Obviously, the dude's like pretty awesome, especially
You're gonna pick
in this
Meatloaf,
film.
aren't you?
I'm not gonna pick Meatloaf either, man. I like Riff Raff.
You like Riff Raff?
I like Riff Raff. There's just something about like, and that's another thing I like about this musical is there's some musicals I've watched where like somebody's not as good of a singer, and it like really doesn't fit. But like him as the butler, like there at the very beginning for like Time Warp and anything else he sings, like while he's still like in the butler feature, because of this film and because of the setting and because of the things that are happening around it, like he just fits this. He just fits it up.
I also liked one of the dancers, the shorter one, because
they kept going. Yeah, like no, but it was funny. No, you're talking about the super short one. Like they kept panning over to that character. I'm like, bro, we get it. You got a midget in the movie, okay?
Hey,
we get it.
A little person, Justin.
Whatever. I don't know what all. It's too hard these days to figure out what you can again. Obviously, I'm not saying that for like in a bad way, but like obviously you have a short person in the film, and like Brandi. they panned to him like 10 years. Or 10 times, I don't know
like for 10 years, they panned to that person.
They panned to that person like 10 times in the movie. I'm like, we get it. And then they had like a really tall guy that I don't even know what he was doing, like with the longer hair and had like the glasses on and stuff. But just the costuming and stuff like that just looks like somebody.
That would be me. I would be a background character, but like that would be me.
Listen, man, this is a perfect example of some people that got around, took some drugs, and said, "Let's make a movie," and this is what they came up with. Because I'm pretty sure, man, if you're tripping,
sweet transvestites, they got them.
Yeah, if you're tripping, man, you would really enjoy this movie. You'd probably like it even more than just watching it sober, like me and Brandi did.
Justin, like the professor when he took his blanket off his legs and he had.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, boy, he was wearing his high heels too, man. Like
high heels and fishnets, like. He was kicking his leg up high in that wheelchair.
Rolling around in the back.
There's just some things you just pay attention. There's always something going on that you're not gonna like. You'd watch it and then you watch it and be like, I didn't realize that was going on in the background. Like some things you just never know what you're gonna see. You can watch it a million times and be like, I don't remember that.
Tim Curry showing up in their beds at night. Those characters. They're both like, no, I didn't want to do anybody. You know what? The thing I think that they messed up on for me is they never actually said if Janet and Brad stayed together.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of iffy because they both actually, like, before they were married, they both ended up. Now in the film, they don't show obviously like sex actually happening, but it's implied because they're talking.
No, you see them going. You see Frankenfurter actually going down on both of them.
Yeah, but like,
but you don't see like the act, and then
it's just like shadows or whatever.
Yeah, but then Janet, you do see her with Rocky, so she was a little whore. She slept with Frankenfurter and Rocky.
She like got a little piece of that candy and she couldn't let go. So that's what I was it never was actually told if they actually stayed together and ended up getting married after this situation and just said, hey, we couldn't help it. We were kind of mesmerized by the Frankenfurter, transsexual.
Maybe they're just gonna go and just like take it out of their mind. That didn't happen. They got married, they lived happily ever after and had some kids.
Yeah, this was just a bad dream or whatever.
Yeah, this was
or maybe a good.
They were on a good acid trip there.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, it's about to get out of here. Brandi, you got any like last thoughts before we get out of here about the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Do you want to watch something fun? I suggest definitely watch this around Christmas time. Woo! Ooh, wrong holiday. Halloween time. Like, it's definitely a fun dress up. You make it some ideas of some Halloween costumes you want to be. I don't know.
What does it rate on Brandy's score?
This score, an 8.
It's one of my top 3 musicals all time, but I'm doing the score that some people think this is couples therapy. I'm gonna make a score work, even though some people downplayed it or whatever, aka Brandi, maybe even Adelia. But I do think that even though there are different tastes between two people, as a couple, you come together and you watch things that may not be your cup of tea all the time. So I think I can judge this as, is this good or not for like a couple to watch? And I think it is, because like we're the perfect examples. Like I like things that are more dark or whatever, and this has got a little bit of that in there along with the fun and stuff that you can have with the musical. So I'd say this is like a really good, like perfect, like couples movie. Now, when we watch something, because you know I'm going to get to pick something to watch a little, we're going to watch something a little more hardcore when it's my choice for Halloween. But when I pick a movie and we go over it, I can still say if it's a good couples movie, because if it's too hardcore and your mate can't handle it, then no, obviously that's not a couples movie. But, and that's not something you may want to watch together. That's something you may want to watch separate. Like there are going to be movies that me and Brandi gets married in almost exactly a year from now, and we'll be living together, whatever. There's going to be movies like Terrifier 3 that's in the movie theaters that I'm going to go watch without Brandi. Like that's just going to happen. So that's the one thing about this, is there are things to enjoy on your own. This is something you enjoy together. And I don't know. I haven't made up my mind 100% what movie I'm going to pick for this month for the couples therapy. But I guarantee you it's going to be more hardcore than this. This is my favorite time of year. And
I'm ready for any. Listen, I'm ready for. I know you're gonna do this. I'm ready for anything. Please do not pick Dream Warriors.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna do that. See, that's the point. That's the point I'm gonna make.
But I'm ready. But so no, because there's a thing. Because I know I don't remember everything that happened, but I know I watched it because I know there's a certain scene in there where a character is being like their veins get pulled up. And Freddy is using them as a puppet, and it goes off of a building. I know that. I don't remember anything else, but that is ingrained in my head for some reason. That scene is ingrained.
That happens, and then the one girl gets slammed into the TV, and he says, "That's showtime, bitch."
Nope. I don't even remember that. I just remember that one with the veins.
I love it.
Use it as a puppet.
But here's the thing: if I were to pick that movie and we did watch it together, I'm not going to pick that movie. But if I did, right, that would be a movie that we sat down and watched together.
You'd have to be here with me to watch that.
But no, I'm just saying though, if that was a movie, figuratively, if I picked that would be a movie that I'd come on here, and on the couple scale, I would say this is not a couples movie. The only way that movie would be a couples movie is if both of you were hardcore horror fans. But let's be straight and honest here. A lot of couples, they defer on stuff like movies and some entertainment. They may have some things in common, but they're not going to have everything in common, whether it come to music, whether it come to movies. So that's how I'm doing this.
Justin and I are very opposite on a lot of things.
No, but this is how I'm doing this. This is like this movie that we watched is definitely a couples movie. And it's not just because it's a musical and people go, oh, I got a guy. No, this has something in it, I think, for a lot of people. And you can enjoy it even if you're not a big musical fan. But if we had watched like West Side Story, I'd have been like, it's only a couples movie if your woman's making you, and you may think that you're gonna get some just desserts after the movie's over, if you get what I'm saying, like that kind of thing. But this ain't one of those. This is a pure couples movie. If you're a couple and it's this time of year, I highly suggest going to see or seeing, like Brandi said, there's theaters that do things, especially around this time of year for Rocky Horror Picture Show, just about every year, especially like if you're in a bigger community or big. They don't do it here, unfortunately, but like in a bigger city area, they will with all that. But nah, man, one of the top 3, maybe even number 1, number 2 musicals of all time. So on my list, Brandi obviously thinks highly of it. She picked it to watch, and I had a good time. Please like and subscribe.
Wait, what's your rating?
My rating is it's a couples movie, and it's one of the top rated.
Number.
I mean, I give it like a 7 because it's still like a musical in the long run.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get like a.
That's fair.
I'm never gonna have a musical hit that 8, 9, 10 range.
Listen,
to be honest with you, but
I think you did good. That 7 is good. Like I didn't expect you to say 10, and so like I said, I don't know what movies, what kind. Like I didn't know you liked this movie, like musical. So
no, yeah, I like it.
I did good.
I like it. But until next time, guys, y'all have a good one. We'll see you on the next couples therapy.
Love you, baby.
Bye-bye.